there, I'm Welshman back again. Now, as you can possibly tell from the title of this video, that this is going to be something to do with Jeranism. Oh, goody. Now, I hate the way, constantly Jeranism only ever does videos when he takes the piss out of, or tries to be funny at the very least, which doesn't work, because, his latest one, taking the mickey out of a replier to this video, he deliberately tries to find people who have missed certain aspects of their research, perhaps, or have misinterpreted the video, or haven't done, research. So he deliberately goes, just them. Because I know for a fact, if he went after people like Sly Sparkane or Reds Reddick again, he'd get his ass kicked. Have a go at me one day, Jeranism, I swear. Give it to me. It's not like I fucking care. And, he always says that, when non-flat earthers, i.e. normal people, don't get what they want and they just ignore things, they name changing. Yeah, like you've never done that before, Jeranism. I can name many, many moments myself. Now, this video is about, Mt Canigou. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he says this video proves that the earth is flat. Now, he uses also the Earth Curvature calculator, and he's been known to misinterpret that thing. He's not very good at using it half the time. But, he goes through the motions and does what he believes is correct. And, does many other things. Like, he comes with he actually explains the concept that many normal people come with, this is refraction, and then disregards it with no evidence or no reason whatsoever. He just does. Flat earthers always do the same. They ignore whatever the fuck they want because reasons. Now, he explains further on in this video that this is 8,500 feet. I did do a quick look, and Mt Canigou is actually 9,134 feet. So it's about, he says at some point it's about 8.7 you can get this up to. So that's still about another, near as much a difference, to say 500 feet higher than it claims in the video. Now, he also says, you can see all of it. So let's go back to this. Now, Jeranism, I would like to point out, here's the horizon line, here is Mount Pico, right? Here is 9,000 feet, okay, of mountain. Does that look like all of that? I know they're 163 miles away, okay, but does this look even remotely like that? Honestly, if I did a little bit of photoshopping here to line this up correctly to the right size, I would say that the horizon line pretty much is to where the snow starts here. So that means here probably another bloody 6,000, 7,000 feet are completely hidden here. And I would like to point out the arguments with the moon look, where people say that you see the atmosphere through the moon. It's amazing how this mountain is turning blue also. Does this mean that the sky is shining through the mountains? No. But back on track. Like I said, does this look like all of it? No. Does he care? No. Because he only picks the relevant information that he wants for his fucking videos, and his subscribers just lap it all up. Trust me, I don't care if many people don't listen to me. He's got, how many subscribers has Jeranism got? 69,000. I have 69. Not 69,000, 69. So the likelihood of people going to listen to me are very unlikely, but that's not the point. Now, like I said, he disregards, let's say, refraction when it comes to all this, and superior mirages, which we know are a thing. I mean, superior mirages can make some drastic differences to what you see. I mean, shit can get weird when you look at superior or inferior mirages through many aspects. I mean, look at that. I mean, good grief. Things like that. I mean, good God, you'd think you probably had a couple too many beers if you saw that on a fucking night out. But this just shows, like, when you look at things like this, that horizon line can change due to refraction. Now, refraction does happen, as, you know, regardless to how many times Jeranism and his Globebuster crew seem to like to ignore it, it's a thing. It does happen. And it can make some weird shit happen. I mean, it can make things look higher, it can make things look upside down, as we've seen, and it can lift things from certain points. I mean, Red's Rhetoric has made this very clear with Jeranism quite often. And that he knows that light doesn't need to bend much at all, like 0.02 degrees, for it to give this sort of effect. I mean, look at that. I mean, look, this is things here now. Look, we can even see parts of an iceberg here that we can't see on the actual reflection here. Right, let's go back to this. Now, he uses the Earth to calculate it. Now, right, Metabunk's Earth to calculate. I know flat earthers and things like to avoid Metabunk with like the plague because it's got too much fact and truth in that website for them. Now, I put in the same. Sorry, I did burp there. Sorry, pardon me. That I put in the same information that he puts in his calculator, and I think the numbers do match up. So distance 163 miles, feet 1,000 feet. Okay, and hidden 10,296 feet. Okay, 10,296 feet. And horizon distance 38 miles. Horizon 38 miles. Now, on this calculator, it also gives you the refractive difference. So instead of the horizon being at 38 miles, the refracted horizon is now at 41. Refracted drop is 2.88 miles. So refractive drop is increased dramatically there. I'm not quite sure of that one. I'm not a huge mathematician. But then this is the important aspect, right? Refracted hidden 1.59 miles, right? 8,390 feet. That's a decrease of drop by, near as makes no difference, nearly 2,000 feet. That's a hell of a difference. He does mention here, hang on,
the highest I can get it. You can get it 87, 8,600, 87. So at 8,700 feet, again, there's 2,000 feet extra. So this mountain can be another 2,000 feet high, and we shouldn't be able to see it at all.
But of course we do. Now, obviously, he's got this mountain range here at 8,500, but he says 87 there, the highest. But we know that the height is actually 9,137 feet. So it's a couple hundred feet there. But that's just if refractiveness at the time could be greater or less. You know, this is just giving a refracted sort of difference to probably a certain level of refractiveness. So the refractiveness could be greater or smaller at that point. See what I mean? So, like I said, and this is a drop of 2,000 feet. And like I said, you don't, as much as Jeranism likes to say, you see all of it, you're quite clearly from, let's say, let's go back to this picture. You quite clearly do not. That's not the entire mountain range, as much as he likes to claim that it is. Now, I would like to point out, Jeranism has said many times in the past, I can't find the proof of it at the moment, so joke's on me for the moment, I guess. But he has had Twitter conversations with SciStrike, and he has mentioned it in videos, saying that the sun is definitely 3,000 miles high. Okay? Does this look like 3,000 miles high to you? And it would, like, you know, and it probably would be possible to show that the sun does not change physical size at all throughout the day, but somehow travels a good distance in the right direction in terms of perspective here. I mean, look at it. This thing is obviously at ground level, which is why we get this scene, which is why the sun sets. It doesn't go off into the distance in perspective like they claim it does. I mean, does this look like 3,000 miles high? No, it fucking doesn't. Does it look like it's going off into the distance thanks to perspective? No, it looks like it's setting. And if you probably watch the stars, if there's any early evening stars going on around here, it's the entire sky that's moving. Not just the sun. Now I'm gonna switch to my little Maya program here. I'm gonna show you into just a small little demonstration on certain things that show that it's not perspective in what we're seeing. Okay, so I'll be back in 1 second. And they're back again. Now, see this now. What I've got here is a little very simple model on Maya. And these little squares here I'm going to use as representations of the mountain range. Just an object, they don't have to look anything like it, but this is just representing. Now, what I've got also is, when I zoom out here, will I be able to see it? There we are, there's the sun. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is zoom back out a bit. Zoom back out to, let's say the size they appear in the waterline. So here's the horizon line, here's the mountains. So the sun is going to come. So let's just say, let's just move the camera so the sun is directly above. So the sun comes along, only goes below the tallest peak around about there. So around about there. Okay, but the visual representation of this is, look how much smaller the sun has gotten. We do not observe this anywhere. I mean, yeah, this is somewhere near France, right? So in terms of the sun's path, the sun would get drastically smaller. To be honest, it wouldn't matter where you are. If you were observing a sunset, this would be observable anywhere in the world, but it isn't. Okay, now I would like to point out, right, okay, let's just say that it's got to about, right, so it's now gone, just touching the, there, okay, so I'm going to click on that moon, click on the sun, press F, just to basically, I don't know where everything else has gone now. Oh. Everything's so bloody whacked up on scale now, I have no idea. Yeah, so look. So in terms of distance, let's just zoom out here. I'm just changing the camera angle here, not actually the... I mean, that's a ridiculous distance. Okay? That's a ridiculous distance. But we never observe that, ever. Okay, that's like fucking thousands of miles if that was the case. Okay? So let's go back over here. Let's delete this part of the animation, and I'm just going to give you a little observation on what is happening. So the sun's setting throughout the day. I'm not going to be ultimately precise here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the scale thing here and put it right about there. Then what I'm going to do is, when I get to run about here, I want it to do this motion. Obviously that's spinning as well, but that's not too much of a problem. It's just the positions that I'm thinking of. Now, in terms of that show, this is just supposed to be representing as the Earth turns. As the Earth turns. Okay, so like, there we go. So do a bit of that. So like I said, the sun comes down, sets, and then goes below the horizon line. Now that matches up more to what we see at a definite level. You can't argue that, you know, this is what we see. So the sun do this, and this is what you'd observe as the Earth turns, and it makes the sun appear to set. So we see no change in size, nothing. And this is testable, repeatable, and proven, that the physical size of the sun does not change at any point during the day. It could change due to different atmosphere temperatures and thickness, you know, due to humidity and all this kind of thing. But the change is going to be very small, not to the Sirius scale. Like I said, and what I'd like to point out here is that because the pivot is here, it's staying equal distance from this at all times. So it's like, you know, let's just say this was the center of the Earth, so to speak, as the Earth turns. Like I said, this is what we observe everywhere as the sun sets and goes below the horizon. And that pretty much covers it. This is a rather simple video. You know, I'm not going too far with this. This is very simple. You can laugh at it as much as you like, and bring up your own points. Feel free. And you know, that's about it. I am hoping to bring out videos based on the moon phases very soon, and that video is going to be about comparisons between what we actually see and what we would see if the Earth was actually flat, and comparing what we actually see in reality. So it's going to be a globe model moon and a flat Earth model and the moon. And I think the results might shock you. Yeah, no, they won't. But you know, there we are, and that's me. That's me again, Angry Welshman, and I'll see you next time. Good night.